My name is Jasmine, and I have long since very much loved the beauty guru era of YouTube from like, I don't know, 2010 to 2015 maybe. So I'm gonna do a little makeup thingy today, channel them a little bit and bring it back into my life. So I'm going to be showing you my everyday sort of makeup. I mean, I'll swap it out for other things sometimes, but this is like my go-to in any situation whenever I don't feel like thinking too much about it. So I have cleaned my face and I'm going to apply some SPF. I'm using this right now. This is the Neutrogena Clear Face. I also like the First Aid Beauty Moisturizer with SPF. This is what I have right now. I'm finishing this up before I open my next one of that. And I'll do some like together. And excuse the hair. It's doing what it's doing for now. I'll brush it out later. There we go. And then I'm using, hyaluronic acid serum. This one is having some issues. I have more coming in the mail because this one is almost out. So I'm gonna grab some of that. And this is like my base. I find that my skin takes better to the foundation and such. Just realized I forgot my foundation. We're gonna return to that in a moment. I find that my skin takes better when it's got some sort of like dewiness to it. I find it blends better. It doesn't get patchy throughout the day. And it's just so much nicer. But if you see the dewiness of my skin, that acts really nicely as a primer. I sometimes will use a primer on top of this, but sometimes I won't. It just kind of depends on the day ahead. I have here my Kat Von D, well, K Beauty Beauty now foundation. Mine is in light, which is, it doesn't look like it'll work, but it does. So do a little bit of that on the back of my hand. Not much at all. I really don't need much of it. And I take a damp beauty blender and just on my face. All that much. I'm gonna move my mirror closer so I can actually see what I'm doing. It's very late. No, it's over. But I try to do it later. Not just I don't really like putting much on my nose for like foundation and powder and all that, so I tend to kind of skip over it. I'm going to use this concealer. Right now I have the e.l.f. concealer, the camo concealer, and this is Fair Rose. It's a very small print, but it's in Fair Rose. I am switching to a different company. I can't remember what I ordered, but it's on the way from Ulta. So that should be coming in soon because this is you can't even tell because of the blur feature, but it's almost out. It's like we're down to the trenches. I don't know. We're almost out of it. I just put it right here. This is actually more than I normally do, so I don't know what I'm doing here, but we're going with it. We're gonna go with it. I'm excited. I'm excited to be doing. I'm thinking about doing this tutorial. Calling it a tutorial feels like a stretch, but whatever. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, and I'm very excited to be doing it. So I'm just overexcited. Okay, I lied about my nose. We're gonna put some on it because I got a little bit like on it, and we're just gonna roll with it. So that's not bad. That's just a little bit. It's just a tiny bit. I keep looking at there. I need to work on my actual camera, and my nose ring messed up. You can't really tell on this camera, but it really, the like dewiness of the skin, having that like moisturized base for something to like soak for the foundation and such, just soak into the skin really does help. And I'll say I did not come up with that by myself. Someone on TikTok actually was doing that. She recommended it. I wish I could remember the name. If you happen to know, please comment. Um, but she was doing that's like was part of her tutorial, and I was like, wait a second, I'm gonna try that. And then I tried it, and it was really nice, so I've kept it. And now I'm gonna go into the Danessa Merrick's Beauty Evolution Powder. I think I got this in a Nipsey box. Californias. I got it in a Nipsey box, and it's okay. I like the powder, but I don't really like the container. It has like this kind of lid, and I'm gonna try and show this without fucking it up. It has like a netting right there in the center, and it makes it hard for me to get the powder, which I don't love. I like having it with this part not there and just free access. But I can't quite get this off, and I'm afraid I'm gonna spill powder everywhere if I keep trying. So we're just gonna roll with it. And I'm using a little like powder puff to pick it up. And this is another thing I learned from that one girl. I wish I could remember her name. So sorry. But you're just gonna press it into the skin. We're not rubbing it, we're not fluffing it, we are pressing into the skin. And I really like to go under the eyes first, kind of really put that there. Sometimes you can use it like the baking method on that front. I'm not, because I don't know. I always forget to like blend it back in. But or just press. And I gotta go. I actually do have to keep track of time because I have a time limit on this thing. For some reason. Probably because I won't pay money. And this also just helps it blend in so much better. It doesn't get cakey. It doesn't get weird. It goes just so nicely in the skin. Lovely. Lovely. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. That's it for powder. Then I'm gonna use blush. I started doing blush before contour because I put blush on my nose and it just feels counterproductive. Uh, so this is an Ulfra palette. I think I also got in a Nipsey box, and I freaking like it. I freaking love it so much. As you can see, I have a very specific color that I use right here. This one is pink satin. I also use this quite a bit as like a highlighter. It's called Pillow Talk. I really like it. It's nice, shimmery, beautiful. But this blush is so subtle. Like, I'm not a huge fan of blush on me personally, probably just because I have the redness on my skin already, so it's just I'm so aware of it. But I love this blush because it's really subtle and it feels like it's really coming from within the skin versus sitting on top of the skin. So I feel like it suits me quite nice. Um, so yeah, I'm a big fan of it, and it's really really light. Like it doesn't go on strong, so you can really build it up, and it's nice. I like it. I'm very picky about blush on me. I have quite a cool toned complexion, so it makes it a little more tricky. I feel like a lot of blush is made for warmer skin tones, so it's yeah, whatever. I'm gonna use a little bit of that highlighter on top of my cheeks. Also, just it looks so much more blinding on the camera than it is in real life. It's a lot more subtle in real life, but it's like a nice little glow just to have. Pretty. And then I use an e.l.f. contour palette. I use this color down here. Another thing, hard for me to find cool tone contouring. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Um, I know the KVD one I've heard is really good. I just don't want to spend that kind of money. But I suppose I could just get the pan refill, right? Can do that. I don't know. I just kind of tap it in on my cheek here. Over here. I guess I don't need to be wearing my headphones. Actually, they could use a charge, so we're gonna take them off. Cheek just kind of following my bone, I suppose is the best way to say that. I go under my jawline as well, kind of just in sweeping motions. I kind of sweep it this way first, and then I go down, so it doesn't just create like a harsh line, because that's awkward. I forgot my contour brush for my nose, but that's okay. We're just gonna use this. We can improvise. It's not a big deal. I kind of do a triangle shape. It's better to show you with the other brush, but it is what it is. I'm not getting up to that. I always forget that brush. It's always hard for me to find, and I don't know why. But I go underneath, and then I go over top, kind of making a triangle like that. And I'll go kind of up the bridge a little bit. It's harder to do because I don't have as much precision with this. Let me kind of fluff it out a little bit. Just kind of fuck around with it until it does what I want it to do. And I'll clean it up with the brush that I do have. You can always improvise, guys. You can always do stuff. Makeup is just fun. Do what you want. My nose itches now. Okay, good enough. Whatever. That was one of those. I'm just going to work. It's not like it's any more important. And then think about what you're doing before you do it. There we go. Closing that. I'm gonna do my eyebrows real quick. I use a little pomade. This is an e.l.f. one. God, I have so many e.l.f. products. Which is, e.l.f. is affordable, but not a fan of their recent Rage Bake campaign personally. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Gave me the ick. Either way, doing my brows. I use a pomade. I don't know. I get my brows waxed and sometimes tinted because I kind of hate doing my brows. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I don't like my eyebrows very much naturally, but I love them when they're finished. I actually need to get them done because they're a little bit unruly right now. I should get them laminated, but so many things to think about. I work at a spa, so it shouldn't be that hard, but sometimes I just don't want to do things. Like, taking time out of work to do the services is sometimes really difficult to arrange. But I do get a discount, which is very nice. So I'll probably get them laminated next time I have the girls do them. And I gotta be real careful. So I try very hard not to put too much on. I don't want it to be like Sharpie brows, like back in the. I don't want Sharpie brows. But I do like them a little dark. And I will say, if you use pomade and it dries out on you, I highly recommend getting like a mixing medium. I think I have one. I think my brand is Method. I want to say that's the brand I use. I could be way off on that. I don't know. It's just like a bottle of liquid. I don't really know what it's made of, but I can use it to revive. I got it. Back up. I originally got it to make my own eyeliners, so I was going to use like random pigments and make eyeliners with it. It turned out to be a little too watery for that. I was having some issues mixing it, so I don't do it too often. But with that, I found out it can be used to revive some makeup products. So like my pomade, I can rehydrate it, and it works really nicely. My mascara, I've used it before. That also works very nicely. It just revives it, rehydrates it, and it's great. I highly recommend it. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $11 to get a bottle, and like this big, and it's lasting me so long. And I got little droppers to use with it, so that way it's easy peasy. So I highly recommend that. Okay, now my eyes. So I'm going to use my very old Going Coconuts palette. Let me show you how decimated this shit is. Look at that. I don't even know what happened to this. I don't know where that is. Yeah, really have no idea where it went. But it was empty by the time I lost it. I used to travel all the time with this thing. It was my go-to on everything. Now I only use the shade Palm Reader. um, I also have, and this is a color of course. Um, I have their Stone Cold Fox palette, which I really love, and I think I say it's Trip, the color that I use as my base for my eyes. It's gone, completely gone. I don't have any more of it. ColourPop, I beg you, to let me get a replacement eyeshadow for that because I can't. I'm not gonna buy the whole thing again. I'm simply not gonna do that. I don't use it near enough for that. I use it regularly, but I don't use all the shades. Trip was like my go-to. So I really want that shade again because it was perfect. Perfect for my eyes. And I mean, this shade, very good. What was this one? This one was Palm Reader, also very good. But I'm running out of it. Like, I just need these very simple shades to not run out of. Okay, so this is something I have been doing for years. It has morphed over the years into different versions, different ways. I'm looking at the timer counting down. And it has become what it is now. I originally started, okay, let me just explain. So this is going to involve red. I'm using a blush and an eyeshadow to kind of make a little bit of dimension here. It used to be just under the eyes. I'd do some red eyeshadow, my eyeliner, everything like that. I swapped it out, or I kept kind of evolving it to make it look more like what I wanted. And recently, or in 2025, I started watching the Apothecary Diaries, and the way that Mau Mau's red eyeshadow is laying, that's exactly what I want. That's it. That's it. But like I really love it. So I started doing that because like I wanted the red incorporated, but I wanted it to look good too. Because used to it was just under the eye, then it was under the eye, and then in the crease. Nah, doesn't work as good. It doesn't look right. So now I do it under the eye and just kind of let it do its thing. And then I go just along the lash line to make like a cat eye with it. Or maybe a fox eye. I don't know. I also make ASMR sound effects when I do my makeup. Does anyone else do that? And I'm using the Glamlight Ghost Face lovely red blush, but I don't only use this because it fades quite pink and I don't want it to be pink all day. So I pair it with the Melt Cosmetics Red Gemini palette and the shade Lovesick, which is like this kind of darker. It's just like a bit darker to kind of just, to make sure the red is red. I have a version of this in almost 2021. That feels right. 2020. But I could this one, do it this way. Yeah. This one's this much work. This coloring, so I like to be kind of messy. I will grab this Keep On Playing Baked highlighter palette. This is Bratz collab with Beauty Cosmetics. I freaking love this. I actually found it just randomly and I was like, I need it. It's so cute and simple and I love Bratz. And then it turns out this shit's amazing. This is incredibly beautiful, glittery loveliness. So, and I'll just kind of throw that out there over the whole lid. Just add some sparkles. Just for funsies. This is optional. This is entirely optional. I sometimes don't do this because sometimes a matte lid is better. Sometimes a bat lid? Matte lid looks cooler. I'll use this Ghost Face red lip liner in my waterline because I'm a rebel. Yeah, sure. And then I'm going to use the NYX Cosmetic Epic Ink Liner to put on my eyeliner. I tend to angle my mirror down and do it that way, just to kind of give you an idea I'm running out. My eyeliner looks different every single day. I cannot fix that. Okay, eyeliner done, and now I'm going in with a mascara. I have a chewing mascara from Persona, again from an Ipsy box. I'm also going to use the Sushi Glow Cosmetics Blood Tint in Ripped Guts. I have Lilith and Twilight Princess as well, but I grabbed Ripped Guts today, and we're just going to throw that on my lips. This is another thing I like to make rather messy. Let's see. So I kind of just smear it on and then rub it around. I think Lilith looks best with this look, but that is downstairs in my purse. So I'm gonna put that on later. I'll also take a Q-tip and I soften the edges around. For some reason, I just really like it. I really like doing that. I feel like it just kind of makes it a little less stark, I guess. I don't know. I like it a lot. Anyway, this is it. This is all she wrote. This is the look. This is how I look going into work. Yep. If you enjoyed this, I'm happy to do a lot of more tutorials. I'll probably do them anyway because I really enjoy makeup. I really enjoy making videos. I talk to myself while I do my makeup anyway, so I might as well do it this way.